Hi, I'm Georgina Joel Russell from Anina Therapy, and I'm a QHHT practitioner, which stands for Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique practitioner. That's why we say QHHT for short, because it's a bit of a mouthful. So I wanted to explain to you exactly what QHHT is, how it works, and really how it could benefit you. So what is QHHT? It's a process which was created by the legendary Dolores Cannon, and she devoted her life to perfecting this technique to help people to move forward in their lives. Dolores has got lots of videos on YouTube, and she's written 27 books on the subject, so if you Google her you can find out a lot of stuff about her. If you are interested in background information about the technique itself, then you can go to my website, which is aninatherapy.co.uk. There's lots of information on there. But in this video, I'm going to try and explain to you exactly what the technique is and how a session works. So, a QHHT session lasts for around 6 hours. Yeah, it's a long time, right? So it's a long time because we do a huge amount of work in that session, and you only require one session. So unlike other therapies, you don't need to come back and work with me again. Everything that we need to do gets done in that one session. So the 6 hours is kind of split up into two, really. The first part of the session is all about you, and it's all about talking. We basically have a really lovely conversation about, firstly, why you came to the session. What is it that you're looking to change in your life? And that could be emotional issues, that could be physical issues. QHHT deals with everything. There are no real boundaries around what this work can help you with. It really is down to what you want to change in your life. So I sit with my clients and we talk about why they've come to me. What is it that they want to achieve when they leave my studio? How do they want their lives to pan out? So I get a really good understanding of what their transformation is going to be, and that's what's really important, to have a clear picture around what you want to change in your life. So we move on in the talking to actually going through your whole life. We'll talk about your childhood, we'll talk about schooling, we'll talk about further education, jobs, and then amongst that we'll also talk about all of the relationships that you have experienced in your life up to date. Your parents, your siblings, your friends, romantic relationships, friendships, work colleagues, everything that you have gone through, everything that you've experienced in your life, I need to talk about with you, because I need to know everything about you, so that when you're in the hypnosis, I know exactly what I'm looking for. And this process is unusual because we don't very often actually get to sit down and talk about our whole lives from beginning to end in a space where there's unlimited time attached to this. There is no time limits. It takes as long as it takes. And for some people that's 3 hours, for some people that's 4 hours, for some people that's 2 hours. It doesn't matter how long it takes. What's important is that we work through everything that you need to. What also happens during this process is that I have the opportunity to look at your life from the observer's perspective. And from that perspective, I can often join dots. I can see connections between the experiences that you've been through, the relationships that you've had, and who you are today. So everything that we go through in this life is learning. That's what we're here for. That's what we're on this earth to do, to learn and to spiritually evolve. So every event, every relationship, everything that we've gone through will have had an effect on us. And it's really about pinpointing the root of when something has started affecting you in a way that isn't beneficial, in a way that's no longer serving you. And this can come down to trauma, it can come down to all kinds of different events. So during this process, we work through together exactly what you've been through in your life, which is amazing, and everyone loves this part of the process. So once we've done the talking bit, then we normally have a little break, and then I'll move you over to the hypnosis bed, which is behind me there. I work from a beautiful garden studio where I live in Southwick, which is just outside the city of Brighton in East Sussex. And all of my sessions are face-to-face. I don't do any remote work. So all of my clients come to see me here at the Sanctuary Studio, which is lovely. It's a quiet space and it's perfect for this work. So I'll move you over to the hypnosis bed, and I always help people to understand what hypnosis is and what hypnosis isn't. And it's important to understand both of those things. So there's a lot of misconceptions around what hypnosis is, and it's really just a state of relaxation. It isn't the thing that we are encouraged to believe it is for entertainment purposes. I can't make you run around the room like a chicken. I promise. I don't want to, and it's not useful. There is always an awareness attached to hypnosis, and the awareness helps me to stay connected to you when you're under. I need to be able to direct you through the process, through the experience that you're going to have, and you need to be able to hear me speaking. So there's a definite awareness. Hypnosis is just relaxation. So the level of relaxation that I work in is called theta. And theta is a very natural space that we're in twice a day. Once before we fully fall into sleep, and once before we fully wake up. So it's that slightly woozy phase where you're kind of in the room, but you're not totally awake, you're not totally asleep. That's theta, and that's where I work. And within the script, it's very easy for me to get you into that state of relaxation. And once I move you into that state of relaxation, I am working directly with the subconscious. Okay, so the subconscious in Dolores speak is or are a group of awareness which resides between us and source energy. Some people call this the higher self, the oversoul. It's a pool of universal knowledge, infinite knowledge. The subconscious knows everything. And when I'm working with the subconscious, what happens in hypnosis is that whatever somebody needs to see, experience, in order to move forward in their lives, the subconscious will bring up. So that could be past lives. QHHT is often known as past life regression. It could also be the past of your current life. So if there's some events which have happened in your life which are affecting you, are creating emotional blocks, belief systems which are not useful, then the subconscious will bring up those past events, past event from this current life. And also I can see future lives with people if it's appropriate, and it always has to be appropriate. This is something that I help my clients to understand. The subconscious will only bring up what's appropriate for you. It won't be more than you're ready to see, and it won't be less than you're ready to accept. So there's a big part of QHHT which is trusting the process, which I 100% do, and I help my clients to also really trust the process. So in the hypnosis, what somebody would experience is generally very visual. And I say generally because the work is so unique. It will be very, very different for every single person that I work with. But generally, The experience is visual, so it's similar to dreaming. It's not like watching a movie. It's not as highly stimulating as that. It will be visual, and there's definitely a knowing. And when you move into this space, it will bring up emotions, and it will bring up whatever you need to experience in order to move forward. And I will be next to you, and I will be guiding you through, directing you through this whole process, whatever that process is. And to be honest with you, I have no idea. I don't know what we're going to experience, and I make that very clear to people when I work with them. This work is, you know, it's mind-blowing and it's amazing, but I can't tell you what we're going to experience, and you know, until we get there and we work through it together. So we can work through past lives, past of the current life, future lives, and anything in between. Whatever the subconscious feels that you need is what you will be shown. So we work through that part, and then I get to the part where I can work directly with the subconscious. The part of you that knows everything about you. Similar to intuition, instinct, it's very, very natural. And what happens when I work with this part of you is that I get the opportunity to ask questions that you have brought to the session with you. So there's always guidance around how to prepare for a QHHT session with me. And one of those preparations is to bring with you questions that you want answers to, which are going to help you to move forward in your life. And at this point, I get to speak directly with the subconscious, this pool of infinite knowledge, and they will basically bring up the answers to everything that you need to know. It sounds powerful, it is powerful. The whole session is incredible. To date, I've worked with almost 100 people. I am quite new in my QHHT journey. I started practicing in 2018, and I started practicing because QHHT changed my life. I was suffering with lots of my own physical and emotional issues, and QHHT was really the only thing that settled, put to bed all of those struggles that I'd been having. And as soon as I had my session, I knew that it was something that I needed to go on and practice. I needed to qualify, and I needed to do this work and bring it to people on the earth in order for them to heal and move forward in the way that they need to in their lives. And that's really what I've been doing ever since that day. So it is incredible work. It's hard for me to explain everything in a short video, but I really hope that I've helped you to understand more about what I do. I suppose the only other thing that I need to kind of clarify is how long does it take for the work that we do in a session to make a difference in my clients' lives? And I'm going to say, again, I don't know, because it's very, very different for everyone. We're all unique. And so I'm going to say generally, within the space of the client working with me and leaving the session, they will start to feel lighter. They will feel as though they'd unburdened. They will feel as though they are in a space where they can move forward. Within days after a session, there will be light bulb moments around, I understand exactly why I was given that now. Or, yes, that really resonates with me. I can understand how that event has had an effect on me today. So within days, weeks, and then generally I get feedback from clients after months, and they'll come back to me and they'll say, oh my God, Georgina, I feel like a different person, you know, everything has shifted. Things have really started to change for me, and all of the reasons that I came to you are settled for me, and I understand how the work has had a positive effect on me. And it's very gentle and it's very subtle, and I always say to my clients, don't overthink it. You know, when you leave me, just let this fall into place. Just let this shift and process in its own time. I'm always here for people after a session, but there's no contact from me because I know that everyone I work with is fine. I know that things are gonna move forward for them in the ways that they need to. So all of the hypnosis part of my sessions is recorded. So that gets sent to my clients the day after we've worked together. And then the guidance is that they listen to that recording at least 3 times after we've worked together. And listening to that recording helps them again to get a better understanding of why they had the experience that they had. And then also listening to the guidance from their subconscious, those answers that they received from that amazing source of wisdom. Receiving that guidance and putting that into practice is so important. It's a really important part of the work, and listening to the recording is as important as coming to the session. So, you know, it's a lot to take on board. If anyone has any questions about QHHT, if this resonates with you, then please do contact me. It's a lot more than just past life regression. It really is a very, very unusual, powerful, life-changing piece of work that I really do believe we should all have as part of our lives. So if you feel like you'd like to know more, there's lots of information, as I said, on my website, which is Anina Therapy. On my YouTube channel, there's lots of videos about how the therapy feels, why we ask questions, working with the subconscious. And then I'm also on Facebook. You can follow me there on Anina Therapy. So I really appreciate you watching this video. I hope I've provided some answers to any questions that you may have had, and I'd really love to hear from you all. Sending lots of love. Bye bye.